My name is Michalina Krokulecka, and I'm sourcing coordinator in onDemand. Let me introduce you to sourcing manager Anna Koździkowska, who's also attending this call, and Anna Ciszak, language coordinator team lead. As I mentioned in the invitation, this session is a sort of introduction to onDemand for newly recruited translators. However, we will also discuss about some updates in our processes, useful tips and hints to make the work easy for you. And also we will talk about the quality expectations. You can ask your questions in the end of the meeting. onDemand is a secure e-commerce portal that enables users across global organizations to obtain translation services and complete a wide variety of translation projects via online self-service portal. Apart from translations, we also offer other type of services like cultural adaptation, transcription, technical illustration. Our processes are highly automated and standardized. The onDemand operating model is built upon the use of our extensive network of partner agencies and freelance translators, meaning you. The work performed by those external network is coordinated and monitored by our in-house onDemand staff. And it goes through rigorous quality assurance steps for accuracy by internal resources and external partners. In onDemand, we would like to cooperate the most with vendors, providing good quality, delivering jobs on time, experience in one or more of the subject matters like marketing, IT, technical, legal, or life science. We would like also cooperate the most with vendors' experience in the use of CAD tools. You need to remember that in order to cooperate with onDemand, we require from you to be active, to have active translation workspace subscription and to use a translation management system. In onDemand, we offer many different services for our clients. That's why we need different kind of providers in our pool of resources, like translators, editors, DTP specialists. With regards to turnaround time, in majority we receive orders with that from 3 to 5 days. But as you know, there is a growing market for rush translations, meaning 1 or 2 days, or even less, like 12-hour stat translation that we've just started to offer for our clients. What are the challenges of running such a business like onDemand? Firstly, we can't predict the volume or mix of work we receive from clients in a certain month. Moreover, our clients have high quality expectations and also expect short turnaround times. On the other hand, we would like to create a friendly working environment for you, for our partners. And you can be sure that we work really hard to make Language onDemand better. In the coming quarters, you might expect further simplification of our tools, more UI improvements and tweaks, through which we would like to make your work simpler, more enjoyable and fun. Language onDemand team is dedicated to build a community of translators and work even closer with the best one. Let's move to the next point on our agenda, which is quality. And Anya, could you continue?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Anat Shek, and I'm language coordinator team lead for onDemand, which means that I'm managing a team of language coordinators who perform quality checks on the translations provided by you. So who are onDemand customers? So we don't actually have a fixed pool of customers. We deal with various clients. Some of them come and go. Some of them stay with us. But basically, you shouldn't get used to one single customer because we may have quite a lot of them. And they usually send us various content for translation. However, most of the translations we get is mostly sent to us by marketing departments of various companies, such as, for example, Parker Hannifin, Arrow Electronics, Cherwell Software, Click, Hootsuite, and so on and so forth. So I think it would be quite safe to say that onDemand is dealing mostly with marketing translations. As you probably have noticed, nowadays everything is marketing content, which means that in onDemand we rarely have purely IT, technical, or legal text, because almost everything we get is wrapped in a marketing content. So, for example, we translate a lot of white papers, newsletters, websites, and actually literal translation is what most of our customers complain about. We also deal with translations for new technologies such as business intelligence, solutions for content management, mobile devices. We have quite a lot of media and technical content as well. So, as you've probably already noticed from working with us and accepting tasks from onDemand, the content is very diversified, and the clients are really and the clients, the pool of the clients vary. So in onDemand we have different roles which are assigned to our linguists. So we have empty post editors, translators, editors, transcreators, language consultants, and reviewers. So empty post editors are people who receive empty translated content from us and are asked to post-edit it according to the client's requirements. Translators and translations is with what we deal most, because this is the core of our business. And translators simply provide human quality translations to onDemand. Editors are people who are then responsible for editing the original translation. And in onDemand, editing is mostly about adding the marketing flow to the original translation. So it doesn't actually sound like it's been literally translated, but to make it sound as it's been created in the target language. Some time ago, we also started dealing with transcreation, and transcreators are creative translators who are asked to adapt the translation to a target language and the target culture. We also work with proofreaders, who are not mentioned in the presentation, but proofreaders are responsible for proofreading text provided by our clients. This could be ready-made translations, for example, and proofreaders are simply responsible for suggesting any necessary corrections to the original translation. We also deal with language consultants. So language consultants are responsible for mostly reviewing complaints we sometimes receive from our clients, and basically they advise if a client's complaint is valid or not. Language consultants and reviewers are also sometimes asked to perform LQIs, so language quality inspections, and these are retrospective quality assurance checks, which we sometimes organize, especially on newcoming translators who are new to onDemand and new to Lionbridge, to make sure they deliver quality translations. When it comes to the quality assurance checks we have in onDemand and their types, so we have actually two of them. One of them is an automatic QA, and it's performed automatically in TMS. And at the moment, the QA check is about checking that there are no empty target segments in your translations. Some time ago, it was also checking for tagging issues, but since a lot of onDemand translators has been complaining on this check not being quite accurate and giving a lot of false positive issues, we decided to give it up, and we've only left the QA check which doesn't give any false positive results, is 100% accurate, and it checks for empty target segments in your translations. So from time to time you may receive a task which is to fix basic issues. And this task is basically a result of this automatic QA check, and we ask you then to verify your translation for empty target segments. Then, as soon as the automatic check is done, the LL team, language lead team, receives your translation for the human QA. And we usually check your deliverables for XLZ files and LTB reports. So during the LTB check, we need to make sure if the LTB report has been delivered, if it's been generated using the correct LTB configuration, and if it's been fully commented. If this is the case and the report is okay, then an automatic back conversion happens, and the LL team receives final file, target file, clean file for final QA. It means that the LL team then compares the target file against the source and checks for any layout and formatting issues or untranslated text. But you don't usually hear from us after the final QA. You only hear from us after the LTB report check and XLZ file check, and this is when you may receive implement corrections tasks, and you will then get a task message explaining where the issue was and explaining what needs to be done to redeliver.
Thank you, Anya.
Thank you.
Let's move to the next point, which is useful tips and hints. So I've created those information based on the most common questions from you. So let's just go through them. From time to time, we receive a feedback from you that it would be beneficial to add the information about the content of the source file to the notification about the job you receive on your email. At this point, it's not possible due to technology issues, but we are trying to solve this. However, for the time being, you can check the content of the file to translate before accepting the job in TMS. And on this screenshot, you have presented the way to do it. So when you're in the New Task tab in TMS, you need to simply click on a file name to download it. It is marked with red arrow. Or click on the plus sign below a task name to expand the view, and click on Checkout. Once you see the files and decide that you want to do the translation, you need to go back to TMS and accept the task. Then you need to check out the task again. This is because the ID numbers of the files change once you accept them. This is really important. Also, please remember to use the Checkout button and not the Export button. In some of the on-demand projects, it is crucial to keep the length of the target segments close to the source segment's length. These files and translation can be very length sensitive, since some are put in buttons and predefined size boxes, like, for example, translation for Twitter. This is especially crucial for tasks accepted from some of the on-demand projects, like proxy, multimedia, and software and web, which is presented in this screenshot. Please note also that keeping to tagging in the file is very important to avoid team coming back to you with questions regarding text layout. Correct text tagging is crucial in many translations. One short information is that our tools do not work in operating system Windows XP. In order to change email address in TMS, you need to change it on Partners portal, SPP. So partners.lionbird.com. It will automatically be changed in TMS. However, if you want to create a new contact that should receive notification from us, you can do it as shown on this screenshot, going to Contacts tab and by clicking New Contact. But also you need to inform us about this change, because this newly created user and email address will not appear in TMS automatically. We have to add such user to TMS manually. So automatic change applies only when you change the email address of already existing user in TMS. Questions you can ask later on. You sometimes ask where you can find reference materials. Those are to find in TMS in reference sections. Here you can find reference materials regarding the tasks that you are assigned to, but also training materials, how to use TMS, how to use LTB, and so on and so forth. You sometimes ask whether all on-demand projects need to be completed with a translation workspace. Yes, it's true, all linguistic tasks should be completed using XLIF editor, as it's the only CAT tool currently integrated with our system. Also, please remember that in order to cooperate with on-demand, it is really important to use TMS as well. In on-demand projects, we issue POs using your standard or specific on-demand price list, if you have such a price list created. And POs are issued once a week on Friday. Please note that those rates that we use you've negotiated with vendor management team during the onboarding process. That's why we can't change it on a daily basis, right? And we don't want to change them. Just because sometimes you ask if we can use different rate for you. It's not that easy. So your standard rates should apply to all on-demand projects for all tasks. What are the minimum charges in on-demand? Each task below 250 words is paid as per 1 hour, and each task exceeding this amount, so 250 words, is charged on a regular basis. Please note that we pay per source word, per effort source word. Sometimes, and this rate per word or hour includes implementing one round of client's review and commenting LTB report. Please remember that LTB report is mandatory and you should always upload it to TMS. TMS and how to upload LTB report to TMS. You need to go to deliverables section, click new deliverable, and upload the report. TMS sends notification to the pool of translators about the new task, and one of them picks it up, and tasks disappear from the view of other translators. So whoever replies first books the job, actually. So this is how the system is designed to assure that we have resources assigned to our projects at all times. How can you check that the task is assigned to you? So after accepting the task, it should appear in your in-work tab, and only then it is actually assigned to you. Sometimes we receive the questions from you whether there is a possibility to extend the deadline. So please know that tasks should be delivered by the given in TMS deadline. You have a specific date there and hour. And please pay attention to the deadlines before accepting the job. If you deliver files after the deadline, we might consider deduction of fee for this particular job, as it is mentioned in SLA that you agreed in the beginning of the cooperation with Lionbridge. Some of you probably use TMS mobile app, but for those who don't use it, we encourage to download this application because it informs about new available tasks, allows to accept them and or reject them. So you can download this application by logging to TMS platform, and as shown in the screenshot, in the right corner you will see this small mobile phone icon, so you need to click on it, choose operating system of your mobile device, and download the application, and just start using it. It enables you to quickly accept the tasks. However, there is no possibility to see the content or download the files, the source files, using the application. Recent updates. So you've probably noticed that you receive on-demand sourcing newsletters from some time. We will continue sending such newsletter to you. Please read information included there, because we would like to share with you the most crucial updates or important information that is happening in on-demand. And a lot of things change in on-demand, so this is really a good source to share with you the most crucial things. So please treat this newsletter with respect, let's say. Survey. In June, we ran a survey about how you perceive Lionbridge on-demand, what you would like to change, and in a couple of weeks, probably in the end of November, we will run another survey, so we encourage you to take part in it. Please also use the newest email address, support@lionbridge1.zendesk.com. This is the main point of contact with on-demand, and enables us to quickly answer to all your questions or issues. Yeah, and once again, maybe Anya could comment this point of agenda.
Sure, thanks, Michaela. People who work with TMS for quite a long time probably don't experience such issues anymore, but we get quite a lot of emails, especially from people who are new to on-demand, about TMS errors they get while they try to check in, check out the translated files or perform any other action in TMS. So actually it happens quite a lot for the newcomers that they get check-in file doesn't match any task. It may happen if you check out files for translation and change the names of the XLZ files for translation. You are not supposed to rename any files because TMS assigns some code and some numbers to the XLZ files, and if TMS notices that these numbers are missing, it basically doesn't recognize the XLZ files, and it will not let you check in the files, basically. You may also see such errors, for example, during implement corrections step. And it may happen if you try to check in the files you checked out for the translation step. And this is because whenever you receive a new task and whenever you need to check in XLZ files anew, you need to check in a set of files which you've checked out for a particular task. So, for example, if you receive a translation task, you need to check out the files, and you need to check in exactly the same set of files you've checked out. And for example, if you receive the implement corrections task, you cannot reuse the files you had used for translation. You need to check out the files anew, and you need to check in the files. You need to check in the files you've checked out for implement correction tasks. This is again because of this numbers and codes TMS assigns to the XLZ file. So if you receive check-in not allowed for file error, it means that probably you're trying to check in incorrect file, and it means that the extension, the format of the file is not correct. This is because you need to check in exactly the same format you've checked out. Check-in missing or incorrect identifier, it means that again you're probably trying to check in incorrect set of files. And by identifier, the code, the combination of letters and numbers is meant by the identifier. So it means that you've probably renamed the files, and the names of the files simply cannot change. One or several files have the same size that the checked out files. Are you sure you want to perform the action? This is actually not an error message. It's just the TMS making sure that the files you're trying to check in are correct. And this is because the TMS checks for the size of the files, and basically if the size doesn't change, it thinks that you're trying to check in untranslated files. You may notice this error message when you try to check in the files after translation, and in this particular case, it may be actually an error, because actually the files after translation should be bigger than the files before translation. But if you are seeing this particular error while trying to check in the files for implement corrections step, it doesn't have to be an error, because after the implement corrections step, the size of the files simply doesn't have to change.
Okay, thank you, Anya.
Okay, thank you.
I will stop the recording now, and we will move to your questions.